Are you ever really confused about all of the advice that you hear, listen to, that people are telling you all of the time, and you're just not sure where to start? Well, think of this episode as your one-stop shop for all things business tips, because I'm going to share with you my 5 favorite tips for small business owners. Although this is a bonus tip, I don't like using the terminology small business owner because it encourages you to think small. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know I am not in the game to think small, babes. No way, Jose. We are here to make those big dreams happen. So settle down, grab a cup of tea, grab a paper and pen, sit down, get comfy, go and check that you subscribe and follow the podcast. That gives me a bit of a high five and a pat on the back saying that you love to listen to this. And that means you won't miss any of the episodes that I've got planned, because there's some juicy ones coming, very juicy. So get yourself comfy. And I am going to run through this. Before I get started, I have a cold. And also, you know that like nasalness. I do apologise, but I've got a cold. But I'm not ill enough to have the day off because I've got too many exciting things happening. Okay, number 1, I want you to always focus on delighting and supporting your dream buyers. Now, as you know, I use the term dream buyer to describe dream client and dream customer, so that I'm talking to product and service-based business all at once. I've just realised that maybe you're a new listener and you have no clue who I am. So let me just quickly come in with an introduction. My name is Claire Hill. I'm a business coach and I specialise in helping you overcome your doubt and your procrastination to get you full up with your self-belief and full of productivity. And I also really love making you money or helping you make more money. So that's me in a nutshell. I support business owners with a warrior spirit, get out of their own way and unblock the things that are getting them, stopping them from getting to their dreams. All right, there you go. Okay, so as I said, number 1, really focusing on supporting your dream buyers. A lot of the time we're focusing on getting new leads and the people coming in from all directions, but I want you to focus on the people that are already there waiting to buy. So these people might be on your email list, on your Instagram following, your LinkedIn following, TikTok, wherever you hang out. They're already waiting. They're interested enough to be in the game with you already. How can you make that experience even better for you? Now, I've got a really simple tip for this, a really simple tool. I want you to go and read or listen to Masters of Scale by Reid Hoffman. There is a Philip Hoffman, but there is a Reid Hoffman. He is one of the guys that set LinkedIn up. And he had Brian forgotten his last name, Brian, who set up Airbnb. Now, yesterday I was actually writing about this. And I was like, don't forget his last name, but I cannot retain his last name. Anyway, so Brian, who set up Airbnb, talks about the 11-star scale that they measure the impact of Airbnb. And in the book, you hear him talk about how him and the co-founder decided to measure where they were with how many stars does Airbnb get. So a 1-star experience at Airbnb would be like you turn up, you can't get the key, you can't get in the door, you have to traipse through mud to get the key, no one's there like this. It's just like the worst Airbnb experience ever. And then 11-star would be that you get there, there's like a red carpet, you have a limousine, you then get in on a plane, like a private jet that's first class, decked out, you know, a glass of fizz, and they're taking you to some exotic island where you're going to be treated like a king. That's the 11-star experience. Now, I did this process and I do it quite often, but the first time I did it, I remember doing it with my husband with the Vivid Business Club when it just started, and really like blocking it out and thinking, if I was a 1-star business membership, what would that look like? If I was 2-star, what would be slightly better? What's the best experience I can get? Now, what that enables me to do is have a really staggered scale and steps of action to ensure that I am really supporting my members all of the time. My focus never steers away from what they need. And actually, my primary focus is them. It's not getting new members in. So I want to leave you with that. Number 1, how can you really look after your dream buyers? That's business tip number one. I'm getting out of breath. Need a breath. Number two, I want you to appreciate the quiet times so that you can build. There is a magic about those first quiet times in a business where you get to work on your SEO, create a beautiful website, make sure that you've got a marketing strategy, make sure you've got a business strategy, look at your funnels, your income stream, so you can build funnels with your marketing. Make sure that your product is really good, and your service. Where can you scale? Understanding how you scale. All of that work becomes incredibly tough when you are full of the work that makes you money. And I've got an amazing new client, and she is full to the rafters with client work. Her business is incredibly successful. And I've got to say that she's very successful. But right now, she's on the edge of burnout because she hasn't got the systems in place. She hasn't got the space and the capacity in order for her to operate, keep on a level. So her nervous system is feeling dysregulated. She can't enjoy the success. Are you really successful when you can't enjoy the success that you've brought in? So I want you, if at any point that you get quiet, I want you to feel really grateful that what do you get to do in that quiet space? And that leads me on to tip number 3. I want you to trust the void. What I mean by trusting the void is that if you do have a quiet down in sales, or potentially you have a gap in client work and you have more space than you want currently, I want you to trust it, because magic cannot come into your business or your life when your life is full and when your business is full. Trust the void. Trust and see, if I get really comfortable in this discomfort of going, what's happening next? And I want you to really, help your nervous system to keep calm through this process. It is a really tricky thing, this, actually. I'm asking quite a lot of you here. But when you can get really calm and think, I'm curious to see what's going to arrive, because now I have space to receive it. Trust that the void is there. Everything's happening exactly as it should, because I do not want you to accept anything just to have something. I'm going to say that again. Don't go around accepting anything just to have something. And that anything could be a bad client that doesn't pay you on time, bad customer that you've done a sale out of fear, and so then you get a shitload of shit customers come through. Rank. Like, all of those things are done from that point of fear. It's going to feel shitty. It's going to feel really, really bad. It's going to be like bringing bad money. Why don't you just trust? Because what if in that space comes in something that is so purely magical and exciting and enriching and actually leads you closer to the bigger dream, what you want most, not what you want right now? What if? So that's number 3, trust in the void. Number 2, no, not number 2. I did 4 fingers as well. Number 4, I want you to work and focus on, in your CEO time, which I'm hoping that you are scheduling, I want you to focus on the 3 big rocks, of business, to ensure that your business is always growing, the needle is always moving forward, it's always powering the boat. These 3 rocks are your cash flow. Do not bury your head, every week at least. Marketing. If you're not showing up, even if you are full with clients, how can you make sure you've got some in the pipeline and you've got a waiting list, or sales, like customers coming in that replace the ones that come out, and serving your people just like that. Number 1 that I said about serving the people that are in your space already. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. No, I'm not. And we shall continue. So the 3 rocks: cash flow, marketing, and serving your people. So whether that is in product development or service development, so that you always know that you are selling something amazing. It goes back to my episode last week. What do you know, or that you teach, that you are not already applying? If there is anything niggling there, that means that maybe there is a gap in quality that you want to address it and carry on selling it. So that's my 3 big rocks. And number 5, my last tip for this episode, I really want you to focus on your why. What is the point? What is the point of this business? What is the point of the discomfort that you're going through to grow it? What is the point of you embracing the fact that failure doesn't exist? There's only winning and learning. What is the point? What is that connected to? Now, when you get really specific about why and the real why, and I don't want to be like, I'm doing it for my kids. I'm doing it to have a flexibility. I'm doing it for freedom. Yeah, they are all valid whys, but why are you doing it for your children? Why are you doing it for flexibility? Why are you doing it for freedom? And I want you to keep asking those whys until you get to the very root of why you are showing up. And more often than not, it's connected to something right in your heart, all about you, which is good, self-focused, not selfish. I want you to look really deep within inside of you. You might have to look in a few shadows to the real reason that you are showing up in your business. And once you know that, all these challenges, you get to get so much more grateful because they are connected to something beyond you that is bigger than you. That it's not about you. It's about who you serve, the mission that you are here to deliver, and the why that is connected to it. There you go. My 5 top tips. I'm going to just give you a little summary, a little synopsis. Number 1, use the 11-star method to make sure that you can delight your dream buyers all of the time and you know how to serve them best. Number 2, appreciate the quiet so that you can build those foundations. Number 3, trust the void and don't accept anything just to have something. Number 4, work on the 3 big rocks of business: cash flow, marketing, and product service development. And number 5, attach it to your why. Why are you doing this? What is the point? There you go. That's me for this episode. If you've got any episode ideas that you would like me to talk about, please let me know. You're going to be hearing a lot more solo episodes for a little while. Hannah and myself, if you know, Hannah is my podcast manager, Hannah Sheriff. She is working so hard on this podcast. And if you do have a podcast yourself, I would urge you to get in contact with her. She's got a new little offer about a power hour for £49 to go through everything to help you grow your podcast so you can stay consistent. And so it is packed full of value. We had a strategy meeting this week and I'm just so excited about where this podcast is going. I know that I've been doing it for a while, 3.5 years, and we're 300 episodes in, but exactly like I said on that first tip, the 11-star method, applies to my podcast too. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed and followed. And what else have I got to say? No, that's it, I think. Yeah. Hannah says it's best me not to go off on one as much and like stick to the plan. But how many minutes am I in? I'm 13 minutes in and these episodes are supposed to be 15 to 20. So I'm free flowing now, Hannah. I was really bothered about the high definition camera because I've got all this scaly skin under my nose. Isn't it annoying having a cold? I literally haven't had a cold for like 2.5 years. Any go. Right, I'm going. If you want to learn about anything that I do, go and check out the website. There you go. That's what I've got. You know me. I'm here to help your dreams come true. Have a wonderful rest of your day and I shall speak to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to the No Rest for the Vivid podcast. Written, produced and hosted by Claire Hill, and music has been composed by my brother, Phil Vick.